The Russian war against Ukraine has produced some extremely graphic images, from fleeing civilians shot dead in the street to the bombing of a maternity hospital. Journalists have had to grapple with whether to even capture these photos, and then news outlets have had to decide whether to publish them. I'm Alexandra Bowman, a member of the SPJ Student Trustee Council from Georgetown University, and for Ethics Week, we are talking about current ethical issues and how to apply the SPJ Code of Ethics to them. When deciding to publish graphic images, keep the SPJ Code of Ethics in mind. It states that journalists should, quote, recognize a special obligation to serve as watchdogs over public affairs and government. Considering the lack of transparency coming from the Russian government and its regulations against the media, journalists should work to provide accurate documentation for the public. Journalists must be vigilant and courageous about holding those with power accountable and give voice to the voiceless. However, there also needs to be a balance between the public's need for information and potential harm or discomfort. The code says journalists must show compassion for those who may be affected by news coverage. This is often why, when showing dead bodies, photojournalists avoid using images that reveal the victim's face. Journalists should also avoid pandering to lurid curiosity, even if others do. Documenting the atrocities of war is important for showing those far away from the front lines what is happening and why they should care. SPJ members believe that public enlightenment is the forerunner of justice and the foundation of democracy. Still, some may question outlets' decision to run graphic images, especially if it does so prominently. The code says, quote, ethical journalism means taking responsibility for one's work and explaining one's decisions to the public. Journalists should explain ethical choices and processes to audiences. They can encourage a civil dialogue with the public about journalistic practices, coverage, and news content. This helps your audience understand why showing these images is so important.